Hey guys, and welcome back to Clannad. So, I'm just gonna do what I did in the last episode, where I just kinda skip over things until we get to new parts. So, and as always, Sunahara is there.
いいか、今日は静かにしてろよ。
Listen, be quiet for today. Why?
それは
Because
静かにする日だからだ。
today we have to be quiet. Is there such a rule in this
だか
storm?
ら声が大きいっての。
Like I said, don't talk too loud. Perhaps he's trying to trick the rugby players into thinking that he's out. Let's not worry about that and party until morning.
やめてくれ。
Knock it off! Alright, let's play Step on the Thumbtack and scream out loud like we always
した
do.
ことねえよ。
We never play that! Alright then, let's play Rock, Paper, Scissors, where when Sunahara loses, he steps on a thumbtack.
負けた篠原って、負けた岡崎は
When Sunahara loses? Hey, what if you lose, Okazaki? Alright, let's begin. Rock, paper, scissors.
よし勝った。
Alright, I won. Damn it. Let's try it again. Rock, paper,
よ
scissors.
っしゃ、2連勝。
Alright, 2 wins in a row. Hurry up and lose. Rock, paper,
そ
scissors.
うだ、3連勝。
How about that? 3 consecutive wins.
僕が踏むまでじゃんけんを続けるだけのゲームなんすかね。
Ooh, and apparently Sunahara has gas too. Hey, isn't this a game that'll end up with me stepping on a thumbtack? You got it.
それって絶対いじめっすよね。
You're a tyrant. The door suddenly opened loudly.
てめえ、やがったな。
Damn you! You never learn, do you? There are 2 rugby players standing at the door. You're too loud.
よし、俺の部屋来てゆっくり話そうな。
Alright then, let's go to my room and have a little chat. He grabs Sunahara by the scruff. Bye! He leaves a trail of screams as he's dragged away. Bye, Sunahara. Alright, so now we're at the next day. Sweet. And I think we've already seen this part, so. Alright, here we go. So, we're back now. Well, there's nothing to do this afternoon, and Sunahara's gone. What should I do? And, this is after the teacher caught Sunahara, so we're going to go straight home. I'm going home. It starts raining when I arrive at the shopping district, and the sky is covered by a grayish cloud. The roadside trees and even the show windows lined up look depressing due to the moisture of the rain. I should have brought an umbrella with me. Though I realized it as I left the house, I'm quite the fool for not bringing one, as I was thinking of a suitable place to enter so I wouldn't get wet. Huh? I see a person walking on the other side of the road. It's the resident librarian, Ichinose Kotomi. This is probably the first time I've seen her outside of school. She doesn't notice me and goes inside a bookstore. We're gonna follow her inside. I follow her. I'm greeted by nice music as the automatic door opens. It's been a while since I entered a bookstore. I have some free time after all. And also, I followed her a little bit since I'm worried about something. Whatever it may be, it's probably nothing. I look around inside the crowded store, searching for her. There she is, standing in front of a shelf where hard-to-understand books are lined up. Without delay, she takes a book and starts reading. She's reading strangely fast as always. Her hand stops as she flips the page. She's thinking of something. Then, she takes out a pair of scissors, just as I expected. Hey, is she serious? Idiot, stop! I don't have time to choose what to do. Catching her shoulder, I force her to turn towards me. She looks at me. Nope, she doesn't. Even though she has returned from the world of books, it seems there is still some delay. I wait, since it can't be helped. It seems she finally noticed me.
Tomoya-kun, konnichiwa.
Tomoya-kun, good afternoon. A very, very normal greeting. It seems she doesn't understand the situation. Not good afternoon. She looks at the clock inside the store. She tilts her head. And then, without so much confidence, she says,
こんばんは
Good evening? It's still too early for that. Anyway, that's not the problem. What the hell is that? I ask her while pointing at the scissors she's holding. She looks down at her own hand, which is holding
ハサ
something.
ミ
Scissors!
紙や布などを切るための道具
It's a tool used for cutting something like paper or cloth. I know
刃の
that.
材質はステンレス鋼で柄のところはプラスチック
It's made of stainless steel, but the handle is covered by plastic. I can tell just by looking.
英語で言うとシザーズフランス語だとシゾーイタリア語だとフォルビチ
In English, it's scissors. In French, it's ciseaux. In Italian, it's forbici. English, French, Italian, who cares
ラ
about
テン語
that?
だとフォルフェックス
In Latin, it's forfex. Even if you say it in Latin, what merit will I get from that?
と
Well,
ちょっぴり得した気分になったり
it will improve your knowledge a little. As if.
将来ハサミ屋さんを経営するとき商談が有利に
It'd be an advantage if you're planning to have a scissors shop in the future. That definitely won't happen. Moreover, is there such a shop that only sells scissors? Don't look at me with such a sad
そ
face.
れじゃあどうすれば
What should I do then? How in the world would I know?
ともやくんいじめっ子
Is Tomoya-kun a bully? Don't say bad rumors about other people. Our silly conversation continues. Anyway, can I even consider this a conversation? Will the only thing I'll do here is act as the Tsukomi? I can feel the portion of my head that doesn't care to have a normal conversation being melted against my will. I'll try to get back on topic. Anyway, listen very carefully to me. I lower my voice and stand in front of her. It's fine cutting books at the library, but in here, it's a complete crime. At least take a note or just a picture. I continue preaching to her, even though I think it would be fruitless. I said don't cut it!
今のは切る真似だけ
I was just pretending to cut it. She says that as the scissors move. What are you trying to
ほ
do?
んの冗談
Oh no, Jodan. She says so with all of her heart.
あれ
She tilts her head and looks at my
今
non-reaction.
のは連帯詞本のと名詞プラス格助詞であるところの本能を引っ掛けた
The pre-noun adjective honno mere right now is a connected honno, a noun plus
とって
particle.
も高度な
It's very clear. For some reason, she's so eager to explain. My mind, my soul, my Sukomi, all pooped out. So this is the so-called prodigy that is in the top 10 list of the national exams. In short, she'll be an elite who's going to carry the burden of this country. I don't know what to believe anymore in this world. Then, I realize there's a customer looking at us nearby. Anyway, just put your scissors away for a while. She nods obediently as I say that. Hey, do you always talk like that with other
他
people?
人とはあんまり話さないから
I don't talk that much with other people. Just as I thought, she's frank. I see, I guessed as much though. I think of how many times I've been in contact with her. The reason why we're having this odd conversation might also be because she has extremely little experience in talking to other people. In a way, she's entirely different from other students who are academically bright or receive special treatment from the school. She's probably the type that doesn't open up if you aren't that acquainted with her. Even still, why is she interacting so freely with me? But I'm also a stranger to you, right? She looks at me
とも
blankly.
やくんは
Tomoya-kun is.
ともやくんはともやくん
Tomoya-kun is Tomoya-kun. That's not really the answer.
ん
She looks really
とも
surprised.
やくんともやくんじゃないの
Tomoya-kun is not Tomoya-kun? Ugh. Here we go again. Well, just forget about
よ
it.
くないもん
It's not good. I'm unusually hanging on. It's alright, I'm 100% genuine. I don't really understand it myself, but I'll give it my approval.
うんよかった
Yup, that's good. She says that as she looks at me. I'm quite puzzled here, and she's smiling happily as if relieved. This is absolutely messed up. Anyway, I'm gonna change the topic.
うん
Okay. Although I say that, I can't think of any common topic. I look around. Looks like we're at the science and physics section. Compared with the magazine and manga sections, this section is hardly popular. I also frequent this bookstore from time to time, but I never knew such a section existed before. Hey, are these the only books you
う
read?
ん
No.
今日買いに来たのはお料理の本
Today I came here to buy a
だ
cookbook.
からここの棚は寄り道
So this is just a detour. Is that so? I wasn't expecting to hear her say cookbook, though. Well, it's news to me that she loves something besides studying. Before you came here, where were you? At
う
school?
ん別の本屋さん
No, I was in a different bookstore. And before
別
that,
の本屋さん
I was in a different bookstore. And before that,
別の本屋さん
I was in a different bookstore. And before that,
別の
I was in a different... Enough. I get it already. I end it before it goes into an infinite loop. Are you planning on going to every bookstore in town?
Mm.
Yep. She replies normally. What time did you start going from bookstore to bookstore?
午後
Well,
1時くらいから
around 1 o'clock? Huh? That early? She
で
nods.
も本屋さんはこのお店で最後
This will be the last one, though.
ここが一番大きいから最後まで取ってあるの
This one is the largest, so I saved it for last. She says it as if she's a kid in front of a cake for dessert. One wouldn't even think that there's a bookstore in this town. This is probably a luxury just for her.
私そろそろ行かないと
I must go now. Going home?
他の棚も見たいし
I want to look at the other shelves. That's nice. Eventually, I end up accompanying her for a while. She walks around the shelves as she decides where she wants to look, and I follow her from
今日は
behind.
好きなだけ本を買っていい日なの
Today, I can buy as many books as I
好
want.
きなだけって言ってもお金があるだけなんだけど
Although I say as many as I want, it's only as many as I can afford. Well, of course. If it's really as many as you want, you would buy the entire
1
store.
ヶ月に一度なの
And this is only once a month.
とってもとっても
This
幸
is
せな日
a
なの
very, very joyous day. I see. That's good
う
then.
ん
Yep. Eventually, she ended up picking 10 volumes of books. Novels, technical books, and some magazines too. The one she had the most trouble picking out was a book called How to Make a Delicious Boxed Lunch. All the books had pretty much the same, or looked pretty much the same, rather thin with lots of pictures. Even then, she had really taken her time selecting one, and she had seemed quite happy doing it. I remember my promise, the promise about eating together with her. Hey, could it be?
ん
I guess it's alright. She's probably really looking forward to it. For some reason, her mysterious facial expression is fun to watch. At the register, it took nearly an hour to ring everything up. We're greeted by the sound of rain falling hard on the road as the automatic door opens. It became a regular rainfall. The droplets fall one by one from the dark sky. Every passerby is carrying an umbrella. Do you have an umbrella?
ん
For some reason, she returns my question with a question mark. If you look closely, all you can see are the books piling up inside her bag.
ご本が濡れてしまったらとっても悲しいの。
I'll be sad if the books get wet. She's more worried about the books than herself. She finally takes out an umbrella from the pocket of her bag after making sure everything was fine. I look at her baggage one more time. There are also some books from other bookstores. It might be too much for her alone to be holding an umbrella when she's already loaded. I'm not carrying an umbrella, so I don't really mind if I get wet. I wonder what she's thinking. We're gonna escort her home, of course. What are you going to do from now on? If you live nearby, I can give you a send-off.
近
Well,
いとお金がもったいないし、届くのが明日になっちゃうし。
it's not far enough to be worth it. Plus, it wouldn't arrive until tomorrow. Who told you it'd be an express home
郵
delivery?
便だともっと高くついちゃうし。
It would be more expensive if it's a mail order service.
でも書籍小包にすれば。
But if it's just a book parcel. Not the book, I'm talking about you.
あ、でも
But
生き物をそのまま送ったら多分怒られるの。
but they might get angry if you send a living being. So there won't be a problem if it's dead?
そういう問題じゃないと思うの。
I don't think that's the
小
problem.
さく切ってきちんと箱詰めしないと。
But you would have to chop me into little pieces and pack me properly. In that case, how will you write it down on the
バ
form?
ラバラしたい。
Corpse in pieces. Will someone please inform the police? I'm talking about sending you back home. I explain it to her one by one while pointing at the umbrella. Of course, we're not using express home delivery or mail order. I'm not even going to cut you into pieces. It means I'll be walking with you and escorting you to your home. Furthermore, since I'm not carrying an umbrella, we're going to have to share an umbrella. I'm kind of beat up after saying such an embarrassing line in front of her. Your house is near enough to just walk. It looks like she finally gets it. Her cheeks blush bright red like a fire. Aww. Remembering her girly reaction and my surreal conversation gap with her makes me dizzy.
ね、私、
Well, She pauses for a while as she talks.
私、これから図書館に行くから。
I'm going to the library. It's an indirect decline. Is that so? Huh. Library, you say? Even though you've bought lots of books, you're still not content? She nods. Do you live by eating books?
ん？紙、やっぱり食べるの？
Do you eat paper after all? She timidly returns the question. No, I guess my joke was too much.
解
Well,
説希望なの。
can you explain, please? What I'm talking about is, you like books so much that it doesn't look like you'll survive if they are gone, kind of like food. I feel like an idiot explaining all this. Sorry, just forget it. but she doesn't ignore it and continues to analyze it.
あ、そっか。
Ah, I
と
see.
っても面白いの。
That's very interesting. Can't you say it with a more amused looking face?
ん
I sigh, but I don't think I feel bad. It might be that she's just not yet familiar with these things. The rain doesn't seem to be stopping. There are people walking fast along the street. The raindrops that have avoided the store's eaves are falling from their forelocks. Are you all right with your baggage? Can't you leave the library just for today?
今日中に返さないといけない本があるし。
I have books that I have to return today. I don't understand how she willingly obeys the return date when she cuts up pages without a bit of concern. What kind of, well, that kind of a mismatch might be just like her. I see. See you then. Take care.
うん。
Okay. Her worried face changes into a tender smile. And also, don't pull scissors out in a bookstore anymore. Today was fine since it was me. It wouldn't have been funny if someone else saw you.
大丈夫。
Yep, it's alright.
今日のは自分でも無意識だったから。
Today I wasn't even aware of what I was doing. I think that's even more dangerous. I don't dare do a Sukomi though.
それに
And also,
切らないといけないことはもうめったにないから。
there isn't much need to cut anymore. She looks somewhat sad. But she smiles immediately after
ま
that.
た明日。
See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. That's why we won't see each
でも
other.
また明日。
But even still, see you tomorrow. It seems as though she won't feel satisfied unless she says that. See you then.
うん。
Okay. After waving her hands at me, she opens her umbrella precariously. She advances through the dreary rain. As she blends in with the other umbrellas, I immediately lose sight of her. I get the feeling that she's used to going home alone. I shrug my shoulders for some reason and start walking too. It's already nighttime, yet it's still raining. I'm on the windy ground. It feels like the wind was blowing from one end of the world to the other, uninterrupted. I could feel its force even with this body. The blowing wind was lifting countless lights up off the ground and tossing them about. The girl is standing there in the middle of it all. As the wind blows again, countless lights fly up from the ground. The girl gazes upon that scene. This is the world I was born into. It's kind of like a fantasia. That's what I thought. This world has trees, grass, and even the stones roll around as you would expect. I think that's how it's supposed to be. However, what is this light? I certainly have no idea what this spectacle is. The wind blows again, and a single light passes by me. I chase after it. It soon floats in front of me. Try to grab it. The light passes through my fingers made of junk. Nothing happens as it passes through my fingers. While I stand there dumbfounded, the girl's shadow covers me. I pointed to one of the lights. She asked, "What's the matter?" I could not give her an answer. "Are you wondering about the light?" I nodded. "The sky?" I shake my head to say no. "The ground?" No. "Just the light?" I nod. "Why is that, I wonder?" The girl puts her hand to her chin in thought. I want to do the same, but my elbow joints won't bend. Consequently, my arm remains broken in an unnatural manner. To the girl who has always lived here, the light is as natural as the water and trees I am familiar with. It's part of this world, but it is the only thing I couldn't touch. Therefore, I thought, maybe it's like a shadow. But a shadow must have a body to cast it. So I wonder where that body is. I couldn't find the source anywhere. She opens her mouth and says, "In other words, this scene which you think is mysterious is, to me, not mysterious at all." "That may be true," I nod. I search deep into my own memories. Maybe in a distant past, or maybe a distant future, I was in a different world. That's all I could recall. Whenever I try to remember, my heart always fills with warmth. What kind of place was it? I shook my head. I didn't know. Was it a place more beautiful than this? Absolutely. Were there a lot of things? And did you have a lot of fun every day? Probably. Even then, weren't you lonely? She's always been alone here. I know this is a sad place. There is nothing here, and there's nothing fun to do. That's why I was born. I guess you're right. This is a lonely world, isn't it? Hey, did you wish to be born into this world? I didn't answer. I just held onto her arm. And that was my answer. Alright, and this is where we're going to end the episode. So, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to become part of the legacy today. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, bye-bye!